Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday. What day is this? This hump day? I don't know what day it is, man. Welcome to Point Blank Experience. Let me go ahead doing a few little checks here before I bring myself on stage. And as you can see from the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about a little self-growth, about how to become a better version of yourself. And I'm going to tell you right now, as I come into the screen, I'm not going to be using any statistics with the exception of one. And that one statistic is I'm going to use myself as an example on how you can become a better version of yourself. Hey, welcome to Point Blank Experience, everyone. My name is Rod, and on this channel, it's a simple concept. It's a point blank perspective with real talk, no fluff, no sugarcoating. And it's more than a YouTube channel. It is an experience. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for being here tonight. These numbers are fluctuating. I'll let them settle down. I see we got about 9 real homies in the crib. And for the people in the back, we got 9 people in the live stream. Want to welcome a few people in. We got Nichols Journeys Extras in the house. Says, good evening, Unc. How's it going? It's going great. And we got the Nichols 13. And I must say, I have to be honest. They actually motivated me and didn't even know it to do this topic. I was in one of their live streams a couple Sundays or Saturdays ago, and they was just talking about being a better you. And I heard something and it triggered something that I had been through. That's why I'm using one statistic. I'm not going to be talking about 10,000 people did this and 5,000 people did that. We're going to focus on one person, but then we're going to focus on my situation, but we're hopefully going to touch many people that may be going through a situation where you want to change, you want to grow, you want to be a different person, you want to be a better person. More importantly, you want to be a better version of yourself for you, not for Charlie, not for Susan, not for Johnny, not for mommy, not for daddy, for you. And that's one of the issues that everybody's worried about everybody else and what they think and how they're looking at them. And I'm going to be honest. I was one of those people. I have to be. I'm a content creator. To a certain degree, I have to be. But do you have to be to a point where you're not true to yourself? And that's one of the questions, one of the biggest questions I had to ask myself. Before I get back in these comments, I'm going to name about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words. And unbelievably, they all start with the letter P. Let me take that down. Here's some dude came in and said, hey, welcome to Point Blank Experience, everyone. Sit back, enjoy yourself, and please feel free to comment on your self-growth. I'm going to be flying through these comments, and in case anybody forget that, let me throw that down at the bottom. Let me take this comment off, and I'm going to go over these P's. Actually, let me just see who's in here before I get into that, because I might get going and be hard to start. What's up, Team Lena? What's up, Lena? Go get the bag. What's going on? How you doing? Welcome in, sis, representing that shot. Thank you for being in here. And we got my co-host, Keisha, just asking for a friend. Say, hey, Points Blank and Rod. And let's see, make sure we got to see who else we missing. We missing anybody? We missing anybody? We got the other half of the Nichols Extra, the Nichols 13, also known as the Nichols Journey. Hey, Rod at Point Blank Experience, and just asking for a friend. And we got MC in the house. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your support, making sure we're not missing anybody. And we got the Experience with Sassy in the crib. All right. So let me start with these P's, man. And when I say these P's, now, first of all, let me explain something. We're all different individuals. What apply to me and everything I go over tonight may not apply to you. It may not apply to your situation. It may not apply to you today. It may apply to you 3 years from now. Or all this stuff could be related to you. So I'm telling you, one thing that I learned on my self-growth is when you try to go grow by yourself. Notice it's called self-growth, but when you try to grow by yourself, you may run into a problem. I'm telling y'all, hey, this be on my hat. In case you've never been here, I don't drop no gems. I don't drop nuggets. I drop boulders, baby. I'm going to hit you upside the head with real deal stuff. And tonight, you're probably going to hear some stuff maybe you've never heard before. So let me jump in here and get to these P's. If y'all see me looking down, I am looking at my iPad. The first P, and I'm going to go over them, then I'm going to break them down for you, is purpose. Then we have passion. Purpose. What's your purpose? Some people like me, I didn't find my purpose till later on in life. I was just running around willy-nilly. I thought my purpose just was to go to work and make money, baby. I wanted to ball out of control. That was my purpose. But is that really a purpose? Who was that helping? Was it helping anybody but me? Maybe my immediate family, but was it helping maybe more people like I am now? And was it giving me the opportunity to reach even more people? That's the question I had to ask myself. Passion. Whatever you do, my mom used to tell my younger brother and I, whatever you do, be the best. If you're going to be a tree cutter, be the best tree cutter out there. If you're going to be the best alligator hunter, and I don't even know if we had alligators back in Arkansas, but whatever you're going to do, be the best at it. Don't just, I hate this job. I hate what I got to do. If you don't like it, chill out. Hey, yeah, I got to wish Experience with Sass say happy birthday. I did see on Instagram, it was her birthday and TikTok. So she posted it 10 days earlier. I'm over here 10 days ago telling me, hey, happy birthday. But hey, thank you. Happy birthday. Thank you for being here. The next one, plan. Do you have a plan? I'm not going to get deep into that. Practice. Practice what you preach. Practice what you're telling yourself, whether out loud, in your own mind. Practice, practice, practice. That's where it comes from. Patience. Self-growth is not just patience with everybody that piss you off, but you also have to have a little bit patience with yourself. And that's one of the notes, man. I got notes everywhere. I got iPads, I got notebooks, I got my phone, I got stuff on the computer. I got a lot of information, but we're going to do it rather quickly. But give yourself time. You have to have patience. Like I was told, and remember, I'm the one statistic that we're going to talk about. Like I was told I had to give myself time, but I was told in these words, Rod, give yourself some grace. Stop being so hard on yourself. I still hear that probably on a monthly basis from somebody somewhere. Hey, man, you're working too much. And people don't know. I make it sound like I'm doing it a lot, but I'm really not. Persistence. You have to keep trying, man. If you get knocked down, and y'all, I'm about to get deeper in this. I'm just giving y'all the overlay right now. Preparation. I just did a YouTube journey live not long ago and said, how can you go into a live stream if you're not even prepared? I guarantee you, everything I want to do, hey, I might have 15 items, but everything I need is right here. I'm prepared. And positivity. How many times have y'all seen me on these live streams saying, I don't look at the glass as being half empty. The glass is half full. Now, I was that dude. Now, the glass was always half empty. Man, I ain't got no money, man. How am I going to pay my light bill? How am I going to pay my car note? Has this happened in Rod's life? Yes, it has. Is it happening now? No. But if it happened now, it's not going to be, how can I? I'm going to say, I'm going to make a way somehow. Man, hey, I might get might go take y'all back to the church. I know just asking for a friend, and I just did a whole live stream on the church change. Well, I may take y'all back to church, old school church tonight. I don't know yet. So let's talk about this purpose. If you want to be, let's say I'm going to use content creator right now. Remember, I'm the statistics. I want to be a content creator, but why? Why do I want to be a content creator? Do I just want to look good in front of people? Do I want to become popular? Do I want to go viral? Why do I want to be? What is my purpose of being a content creator? What is your purpose of being an executive or a secretary or a personal trainer or a financial advisor or whatever, a truck driver, whatever you do? What is your why for doing that? Do you enjoy it? Man, I'm going to tell you right now, life is short. Y'all going to hear tonight, in 24, I had a VIP pass to the hospital. I was in and out of that joint, man. I was going there with my own diagnosis. I ain't no medical professional. I was going there, hey, yeah, I think I got this. How do you know? I was just here 2 weeks ago. Why? And I'm going to tell y'all my why. My why is to touch people. I could pull out a T-shirt if I had to find it. Way back when I first created Points Blank Travel, I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers, was not monetized. And I had a slogan that said, educate, elevate, and motivate. I want to educate the people. I'm going to elevate the people, motivate the people to want to do better, and then I'm going to elevate them where they are doing better. That was my purpose for PBT, and now my purpose over here is because everybody, including myself, having all this stuff going on around them, to provide a place where people can come in and chill, smile, have a good time, laugh, and maybe learn too. And I have Investing with Rob, where I'm teaching people my journey, how to invest with a small amount of money for your financial future. That's my purpose. So what's your purpose? Next. Passion. Hopefully y'all can hear it in my voice right now. I'm passionate about what I do. I don't just, I gotta lie. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I do sometimes. I do say, oh man, I gotta lie. Like, why did I schedule this thing? Why? Why did I schedule this live? I don't know what I was thinking. And next thing you know, this computer goes up. Well, it stays up. I put my little fingerprint on there. It comes on. The light come on. Self-growth. What are you doing to become a better version of yourself? Plan. When I said strategic plan, you don't have to draw a map. You don't have to get one of those legal notepads and draw a whole diagram, but have some type of plan. When I created my YouTube channel, my plan, I'm just going to tell y'all, this was my plan, but I had one. Don't y'all laugh. My plan was to get the silver play button, and you had to have 100,000 subscribers. My plan was to sit in front of the camera and talk about credit cards, points, and miles. My plan was to do a video 8 to 10 minutes long. And I did just that. And I failed. The first one was terrible, but I kept going. Persistence and perseverance. Man, isn't it ironic? Notice I said I kept going. The tenacity to keep going despite obstacles. Now we're going to get off YouTube. We're going to come up to real life where maybe other people can relate to this or know someone that can relate to this. You get some bad news. And the first thing I used to want to do, and a lot of people may do now, is, oh man, what am I going to do? Oh, this is so terrible. Oh my goodness. No, we can fix it. And remember I said we may go back a little bit, but some people say they might get on the phone and start calling some of them prayer warriors. We gonna fix the situation, but we need a little bit. We don't need all these P's right now. We just need a couple of them. We're gonna have a positive attitude that we're gonna fix this bad situation. We got to have some kind of preparation. We got to have a strategy how we're going to do it. And we got to have some persistence and patience, because we got to we may have a setback. I'm going to give you an example of a real setback. You get a notice in the mail that your light's about to be turned on. You don't have enough money. I'm just going to say your light bill is $100. You got 70. You finally find that other $30 to get you to $100. And then on your way, you ain't got no way to call them. And you're going to take it up there. You're on trust. You're going to drive up there. On your way to pay this light bill, you get a flat. We got another setback. It's too much technology out there right now to just say, oh man, I'm not going to make it. We got to do something. I'm not saying jump in the car and hitchhike, but we got to find a way to take care of that goal, to reach that goal. When I think about preparation, with anything I do, it's getting the knowledge. You'll rarely see Rod go into a situation where I don't have some type of preparation. And I'm not trying to rhyme. I'm not trying to start a rap group or nothing. I'm being serious. You don't see me going into a situation without some type of preparation, man. But that's through self-growth. I'm going to bring up one right now that's going to be the flip side of everything I just said, what you need. And I might jump around a little bit in this whole live stream, but let's talk about one thing you don't need. Let's talk about one of my worst liabilities. I didn't say assets. One of my worst liabilities that start with the letter P is procrastination. Procrastination has cost me a lot. How much is it costing people in this live stream? I'm going to wait and go to school when the kids get out of school. And I don't mean when they get out at 3:30. I'm talking about when they graduate. I'm going to wait to do this because of that. We procrastinate. Oh, I'm going to do this video. I'm going to tell y'all what happened to your boy with procrastination. I ain't have no reason in the world not to be recording content. Other than procrastinating, say, I'll do it tomorrow. Then tomorrow came, I'll do it 3 days from now. And guess what happened? 28 days later, when I walked out the hospital, I was 4 weeks behind on content because I procrastinated, thinking I had from now till whenever to do what I needed to do right then and there. And right here, and let me jump in here real quick, say what's up to some of the people in here. I don't want to be so What's up, CC in the building? Just asking, got the birthday balloons. Sassy said, thanks, y'all. Happy birthday, Sassy from CC. Y'all see all the birthdays. I don't want to get too far off track. Who else we got in here? Tasharia, what's going on, my DFW sister in the house? Thank you for being here. We got Lisa J. Stocks in the building. Thank you for being here as well. And right here is where I was getting ready to pull up. Cece that said that's one of hers, procrastination. Anybody, I'm not going to say everybody procrastinate. I know I still struggle. I still struggle with this. And that's another thing with self-growth. It's just like anything else. You're going to have some great days. You're going to have some good days. And you're going to have some days where you just might not make it. But that don't mean you give up the whole process. Remember, when you have a setback, we got to have perseverance to get back up. Maybe the next day, maybe 3 hours from now, and continue to go forward. Continue to go forward. With self-growth, one of the things that I experienced was the facade, the image. Tonight, this ain't no PBT, PBE, IWR, and all them other letters talking to y'all. This is raw. If you notice, when I take this down, it says Rod. It doesn't say PBT and points blank. Now, I'll put Rod, points blank experience because what I saw happening was the image preceded the person. The facade preceded the individual. That's why you don't see it up there. I tell you, there's a rhyme and a reason with a lot of things I do. I don't come up and make public service announcements about all of it. But that's one of the things that I needed to grow, because what I was doing was stagnating myself. I was holding myself back from growing because instead of being focused on me, I guess I was running for office or something. I was focused on the general public. It's cool. That's a part of what we need to do. Yes, as a content creator, what am I doing? I'm educating the people. I'm motivating the people. I'm elevating the people. But am I really elevating the people when I got to come into a live stream with a song that I know I'm got to take out tomorrow when the thing finished processing because I wanted to start a party? No, that was the image, man. That was the too cool for school image, I guess. And I used to say, I did it probably about 3 times through my whole YouTube journey, back to the basics. Man, that was one of my biggest mistakes, back to the basics. Well, why do I want to go back to the basics when the basics were effed up? Excuse my language, I'm just being real. Why do I want to go back to the basics when the basics were flawed? That's what the F stood for. It really didn't, but why? No, I don't want to go back to the basics. I want to go forward with the process. And that's what we're doing now. I don't need to go back. Matter of fact, I'll tell you, I watch a lot of my videos now, and guess what I'm looking for? And I do run into some funny moments. I run into some interesting stuff, but I'm looking for the mistakes that were made. Not the people, not what they said in the comments, the mistakes that I made where they could have been better. And then if you notice, if you go back and watch some of the live streams at the end of 25, I said, you know what? It's about the viewer experience. Why? Because I was experiencing that self-growth and I'm eliminating the facade, eliminating the whatever it was, and reestablishing the individual. And sometimes we don't do that. Let me jump in these comments real quick here. What we got going on? And y'all, this ain't scripted. I got a bunch of bullet points, but I'm just telling y'all what happened, man. It was so crazy, man. 2024 had to be, if I had a film crew and was filming everything that was happening to me, man, I don't even call it, I forget viral and forget views and subscribers. I could have taught a lot of people a lot of stuff if I just had a film crew walking around with me, man. I mean, oh wow, y'all have no idea. Let me get in here and see who we got. Who else we got coming in? Thank you. Just asking for a friend. Speaking to everyone, I appreciate you, my co-host, my co-pilot. Yeah, we had a good live the other night. I watched that live. I want to thank CC Texas Guard for coming up on the live that we had on Just Asking for a Friend channel, The Classroom, which is a series on both her channel and my channel as well. What's up, One Crafty Sister? What's up, Crafty, up in this thing? Yes, facts, bro. Hey, I'm just trying to keep it real, man. Y'all, I don't sugarcoat nothing, man. I don't drink Kool-Aid, and I bear. Well, let me quit lying. I'm trying to cut back on the sugar in my coffee. So let's see what we got, man. Make sure we ain't got nobody else. Loving myself. Greetings, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hey, Tashara, man, I got to get you back on here for part 2. I was watching one of the replay. We said we were doing a part 2 3 years ago. I got to get you back. All right, where we at? Loving myself. Thank you for being here. Hey, Post My Experience in chat. How are you? I am doing well. Crafty in the house. All right. All right, what up? We got your favorite couple part of. Actually, when y'all see one half of them, not the cool half. The cool half is key. Y'all see the other half, Shelter's name up there as one of my, he's one of my brothers. It ain't no title. He's one of my brothers. This dude has taught me a lot. I don't tell him that enough, but he has. Thank you for being here, man. Anyway, all right. So back to this journey. Procrastination. I'm going to tell y'all something. Procrastination almost cost me my life. Real talk. A couple of times. Not just once. And I ain't talking about, oh, I forgot to take my medicine. I procrastinated with something that I knew I needed to do a while back. I was the original Spuds McKenzie. Y'all got to go back and Google that. I was the life of the party. But how long was that life going to last? Hopefully I ain't going over nobody's head right now. The life of the party, but how long was that life going to last at the rate I was going? Man, I was on a surface road where the speed limit said 35 and I was going 80. Not in real life, but in the car of life. Moving too fast. Oh, I slow down when I turned 30. Well, I knew that was a lie. Maybe when I get 40, nope. 50, I don't know. I guess I had a midlife crisis because I increased the speed and I went even faster in the car of life. Meanwhile, I should have been sitting my black you-know-what down somewhere. I should have been preparing and hitting the brakes. You know, I don't know if I ever went to a cruising altitude. I went from a cruise, just up altitude. And, when you're coming back down, the plane coming down, they start decreasing the altitude a little at a time. I ride. I just came down the same way I went up, fast as hell. Excuse my language. But that self-growth is the reason I'm able to look back and see all this. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna say, oh, I did. I listened to the whinings and say, oh, it's time to make a change. We are the people that can do it. Yeah, I listened to the song, but did I act on it? Did I act on the signs? Man, with so many signs around me, man, I'm telling you, it was sign after sign after sign. But when I saw a sign, I put my shades on. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see the signs. I had people tell me, I don't want to hear that. I cut them off before they even get halfway started. Why? Why do we cut people off and stagnate our self growth? Why? I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I think. I don't know what y'all thinking. It's because we know damn well they're telling the truth, and that's why we don't want to hear it. I told y'all I'm taking you to church tonight, straight up, straight up. And it's just one statistic. We talking about me. I'm just sharing my journey with y'all. Let me see. Hey, what up, Odo, my man? Odom up in this joint. Odo, man, I be seeing you on Instagram and stuff, but we got Odom in the building, man. We got the boy, I tell you, this is cool. And right here, we hate to hear the truth. We do. And going back to this race car I was in, there are ways that you can get slowed down. Like, and if you're in a real car, police, I'd ride by the police still doing 80 in the car of life. But then it was a roadblock that I couldn't get through. And there was, I'm not going to get too technical. Y'all got to read between the lines because I don't want to be apologizing and all that. But there was a supreme being that stopped the car. Yep. Screeching halt. I mean, wow, imagine going from 80 to 0 in like, whoo, like that. But the crazy part is warning sign after warning sign. And you know what? I had some of these P's, but I should have had a U because I thought I was unstoppable. I guess I thought I was immortal at one point. I knew that wasn't the truth. I wasn't raised like that. And the nickel said, we have all been there. I know I have, but he has a way of getting your attention. Yeah, man. So back to this self-growth. Let me jump in here. It's a couple things I want to touch on. Y'all might have to watch the replay. I ain't getting nothing out of it. Just watch it. That way you can make sure. Let's talk about practice. When I think about practice, I used to think about football practice, and then some people think about band practice or choir rehearsal. But let's make it a little simpler. Self-practice. You know, man, I had no routine. I got up when I wanted to and went to bed when I wanted to, and everything that happened in between, I was just going with the wind. And one of the biggest accomplishments that I have now is I have somewhat of a routine. I try to go to bed by a certain time, and I'm getting up a lot earlier. Man, I was waking up 12, 1, 2, 3, whatever time I thought. And y'all know what the crazy part is I set myself up at an earlier age to enjoy life. But I had the car going so fast, the car of life, that I damn near didn't even get a chance to enjoy it. I set it up for years. How long do we save for retirement? How long do we prepare for retirement? Years, decades. And your boy, pull this up here. Your boy almost messed it up. And not only, I prepared twice. Because I was in the military, so I'm establishing a pension there, and I was investing. In 2023, and this gonna sound good, but it's actually kind of disgusting to me, but not nasty like that, but it's ridiculous. Let me say it. It's gonna sound good though. In 2023, I'm gonna pull this down. I'm gonna pull it back up, Nichols. In 2023, I was involuntarily retired, meaning laid off, fired, whatever we want to call it. I like to say voluntarily retired because it don't sound so bad. But I was told that my services were no longer required in so many words, pretty much the exact words. And I was mad about 12 seconds. And I walked out, shook the man's hand, walked out. I was 53 years old. June 1st, 2023. A day that will go down in the history of Rod as the beginning of my self-growth. Not a disaster. Remember, the glass isn't half empty with Rod, it's half full. That was the birth, the real birth of my self growth. Now, I'm 53 years old and I'm talking about a birth. It sounds a little crazy. It is actually. And I made a promise to myself. And let me see if it fall under one of these P's that I got on this iPad. Self growth. Now, I made a promise to myself. I was positive. That's the first one. And then I had to have a plan, and then I had to prepare that plan. Positive, I said I'd never hear those words again. No one will ever tell Rod his services are no longer required because Rod is not going to tell Rod that. I had already established Points Blank Network. Kind of saw the writing on the wall, but remember, I'm in whatever, I can't, I'm unstoppable. So here I am, 2023, 53 years old. I said that, but I was still living the life of a rock star. And I got what some people would call creator's block. Some people would call mental block. Some people would call, I can't think of nothing to talk about. I don't know what you call it. But when I started thinking of stuff to talk about, now keep in mind, remember I said this was going to sound good. I ain't nobody going to ever tell me that. I'm 53, I'm retiring, I got a pension coming in, I got another business over here, I got investments, everything looking good. I had a plan, but because I was still this rock star, I didn't equate that part into the plan. Life was good, man. 2023, I went on a cruise, the Meet and I cruise in May. I came back, I was involuntarily retired in June. And I want to say in March, I was in San Diego. And then somewhere around August, September, I was in Arizona. I was all over the place. Miami, Bahamas, I was everywhere living my best life. Still preparing because I'm still investing, but y'all, that creator's block. When I set up and looked at a camera, and my chair and my studio, and I told myself I just can't do it. I realized that the birth of the self-growth in 2023 in June 1st, now we're in 24, was having some issues. And I said, man, whoa. I'm looking at this camera that I used to love jumping in front of. Now I don't even want to record. And I felt this was another sign. And I remember going out and partying, coming back home after the party, a whole day of partying. Won't get into all the details, but the next day, when I went to the emergency room, I had torn both my ACLs at the same time. I mean, that's why I said I needed a camera crew. And I never forget, man, I was there about 9 days, 8 days, something like that. 2024, y'all, this wasn't 10 years ago. And I just told you I was 53 and 23. Y'all do all these numbers now. You might need a calculator or something. And your boy got up, was in the hospital, and they said, well, we're going to release you or discharge you, whatever they call it. I said, good. I can't wait to go home. She said, you're not going home. She said, you going to rehab. I said, a rehab? Man, I know I was lit up, but I wasn't that lit up, but she wasn't talking about that. She said, no, physical therapy rehab. You basically got to learn how to walk again. Now, I ain't got out of bed. All this conversation, I'm laying in the bed. I ain't thought about all that. 11 days there. Another sign. I slowed the car down a little bit, but I still was living the life that wasn't meant to be. Let me jump in these comments. I got to go back up here. As some of us has gotten older, we realize that God sits high and look low. He sees it all. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, it does. Odin, what up, fam? What's going on, man? Glad to have you here. And what's going on, Odom? Where we at? Odom said he got untouchable tattooed on his left arm. And make sure I was 19 when I got that tattoo. Yep. Sounds about right. All right. So getting back to this, man. In that year, I was forced to stop the car. This self-growth. I'm gonna leave it at that. I was forced to stop the car. But now I wanna shift gears, and I may get back to the car. But I was forced to stop the car in 2024. Here we are, 2026, and I almost destroyed the opportunity to enjoy all the preparation. Remember, one of those P's was preparation. I was methodical on how I moved, and this is where we're kind of combining two things here. How you think you have it, and you may do to a point, but then you may have to repivot or pivot again and continue and change the self growth. We're constantly changing, and we may have to change some of these things that I'm talking about right now. So in 2024, when I had to slow the car down, it put me in a mindset. And one of the things that's on this little iPad is self-reflection. I secluded myself for probably, I forgot, almost a year. No, not really coming on YouTube that much. People thought I was done. But I did that because I needed, and I was told, not by an individual, but I was told that I needed to do some self-reflection. I started doing everything that I believed against. I remember somebody mentioning to me about talking to a therapist, probably when I was in my 20s, 30s. For what? I'm gonna tell y'all my exact answer when I was first told this. Hey, you may want to talk to a therapist. I'm like, why? Hell, I probably could help them out. I probably could help them with their problems. That's exactly what I said. Boy, that sounds so stupid now. I mean, but I was probably in my 30s then. Decided to do that. And that opened up my eyes. And with your self-growth, I think, notice I said self-growth doesn't mean do it by yourself. Self-growth doesn't mean do it by yourself. And me talking to a therapist, I realized so much about me that I didn't even know about myself until I'll tell y'all one thing. Here's another thing that I argued with. I remember the therapist said, well, maybe you have some PTSD. I said, what? No, man, I know I was in the military, but I wasn't doing all that. Wasn't that much going on where I was, because I had the perception that it was only people in the military that had been, or not just in military, maybe people that were in combative situations. And I learned rather quickly. I'm going to define some combative situations in case you may be like me and didn't know that these were considered signs of maybe post-traumatic stress disorder. You may have been in a household where there was a lot of yelling and cursing and screaming between two adults when you were a child. You may have been in a combative situation when you're laying in your bed and you hear bumbling and stuff flying around and glasses breaking. You didn't see it, but you heard it. You may have been in a combative situation when you received a phone call that maybe happened to someone that you love. Notice, I ain't said none of these situations is in a war or in a war zone. It's in this place called life, everyday life. people get into such a defense mode like I did. And I'm not trying to say, hey, everybody's like this because Rob. I just sharing my story really and going over self-growth. But it's easy for me to come on here and read a bunch of stuff. But I like putting, when I get on YouTube, I want to put, and I rarely talk about something I'm not familiar with. But if I want to talk about it, I need to have some type of relation. It don't, maybe not me, maybe it's somebody I know. But right now, remember, tonight I am the one statistic we're talking about. So I found out about PTSD, and then one of the things that I think was self-growth and what slows self-growth or maybe stop it altogether is being truthful to ourselves. You know I was raised and I heard a lot of times, man, you can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. Heard that a lot of times as a kid, as a young adult, up until I was a grown man, and even probably a couple times then. Yet, one of the biggest lies that I hear from other people, and one of the biggest lies I told myself was, oh, I'm going to change that. I can change. I'll change that. And then we find 1,000,001 reasons why we can't. I'm going to use different scenarios. Let's say you want to lose weight. And I'm going to use an excuse that I could have used. I want to lose weight, but I'm on this ship, and every time I go, I ain't talking about a cruise, I'm talking about a Navy ship. Every time I go down there, they cooking all these foods. They got cinnamon rolls and peanut butter and jelly. I don't have to eat all that. We want to put the blame on somebody else when the ownership and the accountability is within us. Remember, self-growth. We can't blame everybody unless they just got you held hostage and shoving donuts down your mouth. You can't use that as an excuse. Well, I would go work out, but the gym membership costs, I don't know, $25 a month. What about getting up and walking down the block? What about walking to the corner? What about walking around your house? I don't care what you do, walk around your yard. But we'll find a reason why we can't. I'm going to tell you one that I used to tell myself. This is self-growth, y'all. One of the things that I used to tell myself was, I can't save no money because I don't make no money. If it was an S up here, I'm going to be putting, I'd have two hats on. I'm going to have to call BS on that. I'm not even getting into finances. This is not the finance channel. I'm just using an example. We fool ourselves, lie to ourselves, fool ourselves, whatever we want to call it. I don't know what y'all call it. I just was straight up. I told myself, feed up, because I'm going to go back to my grandma days since we talking about going back to church. But how many times with self-growth did we possibly rely on someone else to be more help than they need to be? We wanted someone else to be more help than we were help to ourselves. And what I mean by that is, let's say, I'm going to use school, for example. Let's say you decide to go back to college or a trade school, whatever. And you're not that good at, like me, I'm not that good at science. I'm not a fan of science. I'm not that good at it. And I have a partner, and this partner won't help me with science, and they know it. I could make the excuse that they wouldn't help me, but I also have to keep in mind, they didn't enroll in school. Rod did. So now, remember that strategy, that plan that we talked about at the beginning of the slide? I got to have a plan to how am I going to figure this science out? I'm going to be positive if he can do it and she can do it and they can do it, then Rod can do it. And that's how I roll every day. Why am I going to blame the person that's good at science? And then I'm going I'm gonna make a personal promise. There goes some more P's for you. I'm gonna do everything in my power to be better than that person that wouldn't help me. I ain't gonna even go back and tell them. I ain't gonna even go back and tell them that if you wouldn't help me, I bet I'm better. I don't have to do all that. I don't. I used to tell people when I was in the at the car dealership, and I told them in the military. I learned it in the military. I had a young man in the Navy. I think I was E-78, one of them. And he said, man, when you walk into a room, it's just like you take over. I said, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I want you to always remember this. I don't demand respect. I command respect. And that's self-growth. That's having that belief. And y'all, I didn't get this overnight. I failed. I stumbled. What do they say? We fall down, but we get up. And this last, I ain't fall down. I got knocked out. And the last knockout punch, I'll be real with y'all. I don't know whether it was a Thriller in Manila or the Rumble in the Jungle, but I was like Muhammad Ali. And when I got ready to stand up in this fight with life, your boy's knees buckled a little bit. And I was a little wobbly. But I had to dig down deep, very deep. And that's what rebirthed the self-growth process. And there's a song that the Racer Brothers that I listened to. Y'all just bear with me. I remember asking God, if it be thy will, save your son. Going back to that isolation stage. The phone may as well have been off. Conversations were short. I had some lengthy ones, though. I had some lengthy ones with myself and with God, but the conversations with the people needed to be short. And through the rebirth of the self-growth was the death of the facade, of the image, the PBT. Hey, PBT, I'm gonna, hey. And it's cool. Y'all still commented, it's cool, but it wasn't the name. When the image becomes more important than the individual or the person, that's when here go another P, that's when there's a problem. We can call it an issue, we can call it a situation, but your boy gonna call it a problem. So moving on forward through this whole isolation process, remember I told you all those signs, man. I'm telling you. And I was in positions that I never, ever, ever thought I would be in. I didn't know if I can get out of them because I'd never been in them and never thought I would be in them. But I knew I had one thing, two things actually. I had a will to fight, and I had something that my mama said could never be taken away. What's up here? And I needed one more ingredient to make this cake. I had to fight, I had the mind, but I needed one more thing. And I had to look up to reach that one more thing. Self-growth is admitting to yourself the changes that need to be made for a better you. Not a better you for somebody else, but a better you for what you not only want to be, not what you only need to be, but what you deserve to be. Does anyone on this planet deserve to walk around being unhappy? A lot of times, people that walk around unhappy, I'm telling you, I was one of them. It's because we're unhappy with ourselves. We're mad at everybody else, but it's because we're unhappy with ourselves. Let that resonate. Let that sink in while I look at some of these comments. I got to go back up because I saw House of X. I saw the Griffins come in. What up, Griffs? What up, fam? Appreciate y'all stopping by. House of X, what's going on, fam? Leo Wanston, what's going on? Let me see who else I'm missing. Leo, what it do, Leo? Said stopping by to say hi. What's going on? Appreciate y'all stopping by, man. On the 2 channels up at that. Nichols said exactly. Let's see here. Nichols says, okay, let him use you. What up, Vicky? One of the biggest supporters on YouTube. Said, great job on YouTube. Thank you for being here. Here's another P. I praise God for what he done in your life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, this self-control. Oh boy, this is a good one. Let's talk about that one. Man, one of the things that we have and we think we don't, we think we don't, is self-control. I gotta go back a couple comments right here. You talking about testify. We think we have self-control, but I'm sorry, I said that wrong. We think we don't have self-control, and we really do. But it all starts up here. And it all starts with your mindset. The moment you say you can't, I'm gonna go ahead and get uneducated right now. I have a degree and all that good stuff, but I'm gonna get uneducated. We always say we can't, and when we say we can't, you best believe we ain't. You already talked yourself into it. But when you have that self-growth and you get that negative mentality just out of your mind, y'all, this is easier said than done. I'm not sitting up here making this sound like it's a cakewalk. I'm not some dude that some professor that's telling everybody, oh, no, this was a long ass process for Rob. A long one. But one of the biggest achievements outside of my children and family and people, my biggest achievements, my college degree, because my mom wanted me to get that. So, but we push all that to the side. One of my biggest achievements was walking into situations that I didn't think I could and walk out unbothered. Let me break that down to you. When I walked into a mall with a pocket full of money and didn't buy nothing because I ain't need nothing, I was arriving. I thought I had arrived, but I was arriving. When I went to the party and thought I had to be the coolest dude in there and holler at every woman in the party, I realized, nah, I don't need all that. I was arriving. When I walked into a liquor store and I didn't have to get a fifth of cognac, a fifth of Remy Martin, and pull out the American Express Platinum card because I'm showing people that I'm balling out of control, that's when I was arriving. Those are some of the greatest feelings in the world. When I not only established, but I displayed. I ain't displayed it to the people, I displayed it to me. Remember, this is self-growth. I'm displaying to me. I'm not trying to display it to everybody out there. That was the damn problem from the beginning. I'm trying to show everybody this, everybody that, yet, what am I pouring into myself? My glass was so empty, and I'm not talking about educating and helping people. I'm talking about a facade, an image. I'm so busy trying to impress everybody else that I'm over here miserable than I'm. Ooh, boy. I'm like the Nichols Extra the other night. Hush your mouth, Rod. Hush your mouth. Let me jump down here. Let me see what's going on here. Another problem with self-growth. I know I've heard House of X talk about this before. How can you grow yourself when you're worried about everybody else? I know, I heard Leo, I want to say it was when I interviewed them. Leo said, or maybe when they interviewed me, it was one of them. But Leo said that he's gotten to the point right now where social media, he doesn't even enjoy it anymore because of all the drama. How can we grow ourselves when we worried about everyone else? You can. There's some people that, well, they ain't really growing. But it goes back to that miserable. We're unhappy. I ain't worried about what everybody else doing. I ain't. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I'm going to be straightforward. One of the biggest reasons my self-growth is continuing to flourish is because there's an individual that I communicate that is beyond belief when it comes to, I don't know, I can't even find a good word. It's just great. That's it. Remember, self-growth is not doing it by yourself. I'm gonna keep saying that because, but when you're out here and I did a promotion the other day, and I put in that little one of them little things where you type in it and do all this stuff for you. I did that, man. And I almost posted it, but I would have been going against everything I'm saying tonight because this little thing I created, this image and this promotion celebrated the persona and the image, and it didn't have itch to do with Rod. Well, yeah, it did. My picture was in it, but it had all this stuff around me that I didn't want around me. Whether it's around me or not, I didn't want it around me in this promotion. I don't care about no. I did a promo song last week for I don't know why I did it. Actually, I don't even know what it was on. It was on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. But F the cars. I'm not gonna say F the money because I gotta have money to survive. But the jewelry, the clothes, popping collars, popping bottles. I don't care about all that. But that's a part of self-growth. That's a part of the self-growth I went through. What I'm about to say though, it may to some sound like balling, but it ain't worth it. You know what? I remember being in New York, and I ordered a double shot of cognac or something. This drink was like $80. I'm laughing now because it's ridiculous, man. It's borderline embarrassing. I remember, and your favorite couple, they weren't with me, but they remember probably when I remember just slinging out a bunch of credit cards. Man, take your choice. I don't care which one you pick. Money ain't a thing. Ignorant. I forgot what year this was, in the 20s, 2020s. But you know what made that come to a screeching halt? Is I did some self-reflection. And I reflected back to 2010 when I was in an apartment with $4 in my damn account and a closet full of clothes and shoes and jewelry all over the place that I sold it, and I ain't even have that no more. Yeah, we ain't got time to be doing that no more. Self-growth. Sometimes you have to stop yourself from messing up. We talk about accountability partners, but the accountability starts within us. I have to be accountable for Rod. I can't be accountable for the Nichols, just asking for a friend, House of X, your favorite couple. I'm just looking at the names right here. Team Lena, go get it back. I can't be accountable for them. I got to be accountable for what I'm doing. But that's part of the problem. It's probably somebody somewhere can tell me what I wore 3 videos ago, and I don't even remember what I wore 3 videos ago. It starts. What did it say? Yes, it starts in the mind. Yes. The Nichols said, way easier said than done. Yes, it is. Everybody's speaking. It's a process, yo, man. And this couple right here, I can't even say enough about them. And I'm gonna think of what I want to say, and it's great. But yo, the people that's in this live stream right now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. As I look through the names here, y'all don't realize how you can be touching a person and don't even know it. Not because you just happen to be content creators, but how many people in here? I'm just gonna look here. I would say probably 80% of the people in this live stream I've had a phone conversation with or a text conversation. Whether it was an interview or before interview or chopping it up. And these people may not even know that they could have said something to me that changed my life, that changed my mindset, which changed and helped my self-growth. Again, you don't have to do it by yourself. And I now don't y'all get it twisted. I ain't no what you call them. I ain't no therapist. Well, yeah, I am. We all are, because we done all been through stuff. But what happens? I'm telling, and I ain't even getting into it. I ain't going deep into the shell. Well, I guess I'm just telling you the bigger picture. Oh, not to mention in 2025. I ain't going to get into the pit bull attack. Man, I went to a live show. Everybody thought I was joking, but it really happened. Your boy got attacked by 4 pit bulls. And this wasn't a warning sign. This was a re-sign. This was a sign. Now, I wasn't doing nothing I wasn't supposed to, but I guess this was a sign that this what could happen if you decide to put the car in reverse. So like the car life in reverse and go back to what you was doing. 4 pit bulls rolled up on your boy at 7:45, 7:48 p.m. Right when it was about to get dark. I walked out the hospital. I can't remember if I drove. I think I drove. No, I called an Uber. I can't remember how I got there. I think I drove. I walked out the hospital with a broken wrist. That was a or another sign. You mess up, you could. The car could go in reverse and you go back. And I was like, whoa, boy, I don't know why that happened, but man, let me straighten up and fly right. If you ever seen the Tuskegee Airmen, that's what they used to say, man. You straighten up, stay straight. I wouldn't even mess it up, but stay straight. Don't get off course, dude. And that's self-growth, man. Exactly. Pleasing people. Yep. That part, we always say that. Yep, facts, bro. Hey, man, I'm just being real tonight, y'all. I'm real all the time, but I'm being extra real, I guess. We owe man nothing. Man owe us nothing. We only owe him. We owe him everything. Yes, speak, right? Yep, exactly, bro. Come on now. This is another thing right here. Looking in the mirror, man. Through that isolation period that I put myself through, man, it's amazing how much you learn about you when you take all the noise away. And when I looked in the mirror, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all about the mirror Rod looked into. I thought about every jacked up situation that I could remember. And instead of thinking about all the parties that were there, all the individuals that were there, I only looked at Rod being there. And what could Rod have done better to make the situation not as bad as it was? I'm not necessarily talking about relationships. I'm not talking about women. I'm not talking about just bills or jobs. I'm talking about the whole enchilada. What could have been done? What could I have done? That self-growth, that accountability. What could I have done to make the situation different? I ain't gonna say better, but different. I can tell you one thing. If I wouldn't have been a rock star, I wouldn't have been in the hospital for 9 days and physical therapy rehab for 11. That's one thing I thought about when I looked in the mirror. I also thought about self. I was involuntarily retired at 53. Had I not been a rock star, I probably could have retired at 43, 45 with the moves I made. But what happened? Wanted to ball out of control, man. I remember being 25 years old, driving around in a $70,000 Lexus because I had other businesses. That was crazy too. I don't even know what a car is now. But would the Rod now do what he did then? No, because of self-growth. Now, I'm going to tell you, ask yourself a question. Are you still doing now what you were doing 25 years ago? If the answer is, now I ain't talking about the good stuff. I ain't talking about the good thing. I'm talking about the not so good things. If the answer is yes, I ain't no preacher, I ain't no nothing. I'm just going to say you may want to take a look in the mirror. Because I'm going to tell y'all, prior to me looking in that mirror, I was that dude that the same stuff I was doing, not all of it, but enough of it, the same stuff I was doing at 43 is some of the same stuff I was doing at 33. Oh, dude, where is the growth? Where is the growth? I was in a live stream last night and they was talking about money. Money don't make the person makes the money. And sometimes we can get so caught up in the dollar bill that we're blinded by reality. We're blinded and can't see reality, should I say. You needed to survive. But controlling you is not part of that equation. Let me jump down in here and see what's going on right here. Yes, for sure. It's the mindset. House of Eggs. Hello, what up, JR? I've been rocking with your boy since I first started. Hello, everyone in the chat. How is everyone doing tonight? Reflection. Yes, self-reflection, man. I'm telling y'all. Going through here. Nichols say, speak, Rod. No, man, I'm not a rich. I actually tried to watch them, but I ain't like their uniforms. I'm going to be honest with you. I actually wear the hat. I always liked the B. I always thought it was cool, simple. But Sean, Shaw, I really wear this. I said, Shaw, I really wear this here. I don't drop gems. I don't drop nuggets. I always say I drop boulders. So when you see me wear this hat with a B on it, I'm probably about to bring it. And the B is not for bring it. It's just, I don't drop gems. I don't drop nuggets. I always said I drop boulders. So usually when you see me with this hat on, I'm about to get pretty serious. And there may be some jokes. I'm going to crack jokes sometimes when it's warranted. But thank you for being here, though. Hey, anyone that's not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you haven't, consider doing so. I can't tell you to. Also, if you receive something out of this, man, I'm not worried about no super chats. I'm not worried about no cash apps. What I am worried about is just hitting the like button so this video can get pushed out to people you don't know, I don't know, we may never know that could be possibly help. Because I'm going to tell you, sometimes lack of self-growth can end up in total destruction. And you're speaking, you ain't speaking to me where you are via texting, but it's coming from a man that's been there. A person that's been there. And I got some in the mail a while back, and I was hoping they were in here, but I'm sure the word will get out and I'll let them know. But I got some in the mail, and I should have known it was going to be I'm telling y'all, man, don't nothing ever run smooth for the watch. I probably, oh yeah, I do. I usually keep some seals close. Don't ask me why. Hey, while I'm doing this here, man, make sure y'all check out a series, The Classroom with Just Asking for a Friend and myself. We alternate the times. 1 week we do it on Point Blank Experience. The next week we do it on her channel, Just Asking for a Friend, where we talk about most of the stuff people may be afraid to talk about. Y'all bear with me, man. I ain't over here like shucking corn, and then I know I've been watching those gardeners, but that ain't what's going on. I'm trying to get all this. I know why this is happening here. I know why this is like this, but I got something in the mail. And if I can ever get it over, I might just have to show y'all with all this 8,000. I wonder how much this cost, man. It had to be, it's heavy. And then all this protection that's over here. Let me almost finish. And I know they were probably wondering, and maybe they didn't care why it took me so long, because I usually do this right away. Oh Lord, I almost broke this thing. How many people we still got? We got 13. Hey, y'all, don't y'all leave, man. Your boy over here struggling. I think I'm going to sign up for an arts and crafts class, because obviously I am feeling these scissors and this plastic, man. This here is this right up there with me falling out that chair back in the day. But how many, I am going to ask a question. Y'all put it in the comments. I know I'm probably not, I don't know if I'm at the end or not, but how many people can resonate with anything or can relate to anything that was said tonight? You ain't got to put exactly what it is, but I know I can't be the only one that's experienced some of the stuff that's been said in this live. I know I can't be the only one. I'm not saying admit nothing, and I might drop the link. I don't know, man. How long have I been on here? Hell, I might not have time to drop the link by the time I finish this little project I got going on. I probably showed y'all and everything. I'm blew the surprise. It ain't going to be. All right, finally. So, this award that I have right here, let me take this down. What's up, Tanya? This award right here is a testament. Let me put it up there. Y'all see it says the Debo Vibes Award, Meet and I Awards 2025. This award is actually special because every award, most awards, not all of them, 90% of them are voted on by the people. But this one was selected by Anwar and Meet from Meet and I. Hey, what's up, East Bay? What's going on? What's up, Tanya? I see you came in. Thank y'all for being here. This award was given by Anwar and Meet. And Debo Vibes, if you don't know the backstory, and I'm going to talk about self-growth. This is why I waited to do this. The person that this award is named after was diagnosed with breast cancer. And he's still here today to talk about it. And he fought, he battled, a warrior, someone that could have quit and didn't. And he's still here today to talk about it. And this year, and they're not just giving it out. Anwar said they're not just giving it out. If no one, they don't think you deserve it, you don't get it. This is not from being a content creator or making videos or going live or so many subscribers, so many views. This award was given for the things that not only did I endure, well, let me put it on hold. So let me put it up here with the other ones that are up here. But not only the things that I endured, but because of that self-growth, I was able to overcome. And you have to go back and watch the Meet and I Awards to get the full story. But as Anwar put it, I didn't really think about it, y'all. I really didn't think about it the way he put it when I received that award. That I almost died twice in about a year's time frame. And I was like, wow, yeah, I guess I did. The second one, I could have, and that was with the pit bull. I hadn't even counted that one. But the first one was all self-inflicted. And I'm going to say right now, if you're going through something and you're the root of the issue, or going back to those P's, you're the root of the problem, it's going to take a lot of self. It's going to take self-discipline, self-growth, self-control, self-motivation. It's going to take every self in the world, possibly, but we're all warriors. I don't care where you come from. I don't care how much money you were raised with. I don't care how much money you got now. We're all warriors. I look back over my life, and why don't I want to grow? Why wouldn't I want to grow? And I'm not talking about money and bank accounts and stocks and all, man, damn all that. I'm talking about being a country boy, a proud country boy. As as Just Asking said, I can't mess this up. From the back roads and the paved streets of Arkansas, and taking a leap of faith and going to the United States Navy, going to California, seeing all these big buildings. First time I flew on a plane, I was going to boot camp, got off the plane in this big old city in California, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. But the craziest part was I didn't even know how to swim. I had signed up for something, and the main qualification I didn't even know how to do. The grace of God. It wasn't right. 20 years later, and I'm sure Just Asking for a Friend going to join the party. My first co-host, Tanya from Event Yours, will ask me probably every 3 or 4 lives, how'd you get in the Navy? How'd you do all this time in the Navy and can't swim? So we get past that. I ended up retiring as an E8. You could only go to E9. And I'm going to tell y'all, not totally, it's a couple of reasons it happened. I had some good mentors. That was the primary reason. People that really looked out for me and really cared and were genuine. But the biggest reason is I didn't like working for nobody. So the only way I could not work for somebody was to keep getting promoted. And in order to keep getting promoted, I had to keep growing. And my mama told me something a long time ago. Back then, of course, I had to put the rod twist on it. Back then, it was because of this, the color of my skin. She said you have to stay 2 steps ahead and work twice as hard just to keep up with people that don't look like you. I don't understand, Mama. What you saying? And I was young. I was probably about 6, 7, maybe. And she broke it down. And I put the rod twist on that through life, through the rest of my life. I guarantee you, I'm probably 2 steps ahead. Out of 365 days, probably 350 of them out the year. But what led me to that self-reflection and that isolation was I wasn't 2 steps ahead, I was 4 steps behind. Missing blessings, missing opportunities, missing life. Well, I should have changed my name to Missing. I was missing everything. Too big for your britches. If you're from the country, I know you've heard of that. You may not even have to be from the country. Moving forward, and I'm going to shorten this up, just this part of it. Got in the automotive industry, went from ground zero to 3rd in command, self-growth. I studied people. I watched people. As you're growing and you're going through this self-growth, one of the secrets to the secret sauce is identifying not who you want to be, not necessarily who you even want to be like, but identify in whatever you're doing, who's successful at whatever you're trying to do, as long as it's right. That's how I went from ground zero to where I did in the car. I watched everybody, man. And through the grace of God, I had the gift of gab. I could talk. I almost talked myself out of a job. I remember when I went in for my interview, this guy said, "You think you can sell cars?" I said, "Man, I ain't gonna tell y'all exactly what I told him, but told him I sold people several opportunities, and I wasn't talking about nothing in the streets, nothing illegal. It had something to do with the military, but and he told me, he said, "Man, I should just tear up your application right here. But you know what? I like you. You're very confident." And that man took me under his wing. From that almost mistake, he took me under his wing and put me in a position. I had to earn it, but he put me in a position. I'm gonna get ready to close this out. I've been on here an hour and 22 minutes, and I'm gonna make sure if y'all have any questions, any comments, please put them in the chat. This is the last call for comments. I'm going to be raising up out of here, but I want to say for anybody, matter of fact, I might just drop the link. Anybody want to come up, talk about their self-growth, and I ain't gonna keep it all down there all day. Now, if y'all don't come up, I'm gonna be raising up. But when you want to talk about self-control, you have to be first and foremost honest with yourself. All that other stuff can come. You may not have the patience in the beginning. You may not have the perseverance in the beginning. You may not be positive in the beginning. What's these other P's I named? All of that you may have to learn through the process, as YFC said earlier. You may not even have a passion for something until you understand your purpose. This isn't scripted. I'm just looking at the P's right now. I don't script anything I do on any live I do because it's up here. You may not know your passion until you find your purpose. And if you're at a place where whether it's your job, where you are in life, you feel like you're stuck in a rut, you're stuck in the mud. If you're in a place and you don't have a passion for that place, it's time to find another place that will fit your purpose. What is your purpose? Your purpose don't have to have a dollar amount to it. One of the things I want to do, I don't even want to get paid for it. I want to go and why haven't I done it? One of those other P's, procrastination. I want to go to the VA. Hell, I don't know, maybe push veterans around in a wheelchair a couple hours a week. And I don't want money for that. I haven't come up with the total plan, but I want to come up with something I can't save every homeless person. I can't assist every homeless person, but I can do my part. I'm just saying what I want to do. I ain't trying to recruit no army or nothing. I'm just telling you what I want to do. Preparation. Sometimes we face things in life we don't even know how to prepare for it. When I was in the hospital 28 days, that was supposed to be, in my mind, a 5-hour evolution. You want to talk about lack of preparation? I ain't have nothing I was supposed to have. No charger for my phone, no laptop, no nothing. I had a commitment. I remember I had said I was going to do a live with the community, which is a group of content creators that I'm part of to talk about credit and finance and all that. And I remember getting out the hospital bed on my phone because there was a passion that went along with my purpose. I kept my avatar up. And I went on that live stream, and I remember, I think it was Chad's Money Minutes or Sledge Inc. team. They say, Rod, you need to chill out. You need to get out of here. We can tell. Because I was out of breath, just holding a regular conversation, talking like I normally would in a live. But that's where that perseverance. I mean, I ain't run around the block to get to the phone. I got out of bed and walked over to the phone and went live with them. That's having a purpose and having a passion. Let me tell you about your purpose and your passion. It may not even meet some of the people you know's approval. I guarantee you, if I'd have told my mother that I wanted to be a YouTuber, and there was a YouTube back in the day when she was here, she'd have went off on me because that wasn't her vision for Rod. Her vision for Rod was to go to college, get a degree, get a good job, and probably stay close to her the rest of my life, which was in Arkansas. I probably would have been the most unhappiest individual in the world because that wasn't what I was meant to be. Sometimes we have to do it our way. Our way might not be the best way, but if you continue to have that self-growth and continue to try to be the best version of yourself, the road can be a lot less bumpier. I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Let me read these comments. Tanya says it's been a late night for me today. What's popping? Hey, just in here talking about a little self-growth. Get ready to get out of here though. What up, East Bay Shell? What's going on? Thanks for being in here. Good evening, everyone. Man, appreciate everybody for stopping through. Again, this is the last call for comments. Hey, just asking. Okay. Hey, from House of X. Ranch is good. Pulled a shift today. That's great. So true. Experience was sassy. All right. Welcome in. Oh man, we was talking about a little bit of self-growth. Sounds serious. No, sometimes people don't believe. Sometimes I had to get serious, Tanya and Timmy, every once in a while. Great live, right? I tell you what I am. If anybody for about 5 minutes, maybe 10, depending on what y'all talking about. Maybe 20 if it's good, because I'm nosy like that. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link real quick. Anybody want to come up? Now, if you come up with an avatar, I have to see who you are backstage. The people won't be able to see you, but I don't need nothing crazy tonight and destroy all my self-growth that I've been going through. But I will say, man, we have to be honest with ourselves. Self-growth at Event Yours. Just dropped a link. Thank you. Great live. Hey, man, self-growth is probably one of the hardest things I've ever been through. I'm not here to make it sound like it's easy and make it sound like Rod got it figured out. I'm going to tell y'all straight up, I'm growing every day. Every day. And I'm not afraid to grow. Once you remove fear out of your vocabulary, out of your life, out of your mindset, you'll be amazed how far you can go. And the fear, I ain't talking about bungee jumping and skydiving. I ain't doing that anyway. I tell y'all straight up, I got the biggest fear in the world, but I'm talking about the fear of doing some of the simplest things. It's not hard to be honest with yourself. It's not hard to, right now, man, I not long ago, a couple of days ago, I was racking my brain trying to figure something out. I said, man, why don't I just Google it? Then I had to watch a video, but I figured it out. As you're going through self-growth, the sense of fulfillment, the sense of accomplishment is unbelievable. And I do have a guest coming up right now. She's not a guest. She's actually here quite often, 2 times a month. What's up, T? How you doing? What you doing? You in the dark?
I'm driving. I told you it was a late night today.
Well,
So
hey,
I'm driving.
well, you got to keep your eyes on the road. Hold on, I got to do a safety check. You got some Bluetooth?
It's through the car. I'm not holding this phone. You crazy?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hey, I saw one of them cars you got at the gas at the coffee place. It was a gas station, but it was one of them uppity ones. That's a pretty nice ride. Hey, anybody else want to come up? Since I can't see Tanya, and I don't even know if this really her. It sounds like her. This might be AI. I tell you, this really you. Hey,
okay, Arkansas, it's me.
Hey, no, but hey, welcome back for your cruise. From your cruise, you and Timmy. Timmy celebrated his 60th birthday, man. I saw some of the footage. Uh, just tonight, man, I've been talking about self growth, Tanya. I know I'm not going to get deep into it. You and I had a conversation, actually, and I hope you don't
Yeah.
mind me sharing this. Tanya called me when I was in the hospital, and I called her back, and I told her one of the biggest lies ever. Am I lying, Tanya?
Nope.
Originally, I told her a lie. Then I circled back around. I told her what was really going on, and that was part of that self growth. And all I'm talking about, Tanya, is just yeah. Like I was just talking about, really, it ain't about it's whatever you think it is, whatever a person think it is, but like being positive and patience and having a purpose, a passion, a plan, and just trying to be a better version of yourself. That's what I've been talking about. People in general, whatever that look like to that individual.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, have you ever had to? That's kind of a loaded, not so smart question, but do you remember say? And this ain't no interview. I'm just asking a simple question. Do you remember that when? Have you ever had to go through any self growth recently, or I'm sure we all in our life have.
Of course. Oh, yeah, of course. But some of the self growth to me, it was me being proactive with it. Because as you know better, you do better, right? So
Hmm.
when you know better and you try to do better, you try to do better for yourself. So sometimes you have to take risks or challenges on your own just to sort of make yourself better, if you understand what I'm saying. So for instance, one example is my profession at work. So I'm, for those who don't know, I'm an executive in the healthcare industry. I basically oversee, right now, I oversee the financial operations for one of the hospitals of one of the biggest Southeast region hospitals here in Georgia. And I've always loved operations, but coming over to the strictly finance side of things was something that I knew that I needed to do to sort of gain that, how can I say, that that triple threat um sort of experience. Not only because I have the hospital experience, but I also had surgical procedural experience. And then the last thing I wanted was to understand what happens behind the scenes with the finances for the hospital.
Hmm.
Because it's one thing to deal with the business of things, and it's another thing to deal with the finance of things. And so what I actually had to do was I had to suck up my pride and say, if this is something that I want, then I'm going to have to take a risk and make myself vulnerable and put myself out there. Because now I was venturing into an area where I couldn't just do it in my sleep. This was actually something that I had to, put forth an effort to.
Hmm.
And, I'm not the smartest person in the room, right now. I'm not the one where I can just walk in and I can just close my eyes and just know everything. And so I'm vulnerable. And so making yourself vulnerable also teaches you to be patient. It also teaches you how to hone in on maybe some skills or things that maybe you weren't good in, that you maybe need to learn how to do. And I'm not talking about just work related, just as a person. So I had to learn to listen more, right? And
Hmm.
so growing and learning to listen and truly listen, meaning not listen to answer, but listen to actually listen to what's going on. So upon doing that, that means that now I'm so used to wanting to be able to say, hey, I know this. I had to sort of learn to shut my mouth, and that's a lot for somebody who always has the answer. You know what I mean? So, right now, that's my recent growth that I'm going through. But I can tell you that by doing that, I am evolving into a whole different type of executive where it's almost like the Lord is saying, you know, I need you to go through this in order to go to get to where I'm trying to put you. You
Mhm.
know, so with that, I just stay humble right now in reference to it, you know. So right now that's my self-growth. My self-growth is being vulnerable, and is learning to be quiet, is learning to listen, and is learning to, in addition, while I'm going through my growth, to also help others with their growth in whatever capacity that is. So by me doing that, I feel much better, not being the biggest fish in the pond per se, because I'm learning that, in order for you to get somewhere, sometimes you just have to serve a little more. So that's what my growth um, experience is going on basically now. I mean, there's so many other growth examples, but I'm just telling you that just based on what's going on now,
And you know what,
for me.
Tanya?
So
I want to thank you because I had a whole, that's what I've been looking at my phone. I had a whole bunch of notes. Y'all see them right there that I done forgot all about. But when she said one thing, it triggered because I did look over them earlier today before I even did this live. But she hit on two things that I already had that if Tanya wouldn't have came up here, I never would have talked about. Hold up, now I'm over here really losing my mind. I'm hitting the wrong button. So, where was it? I just saw it. One of the things she mentioned, because I listened very well, was active listening. She had to listen more because she wasn't as comfortable as normal at her job because she was taking on a new role in a whole new department and really tune in on what was going on around her. Then another one I want to pull up here that I'm probably go over a couple of these real quick. It says learning a new skill slash language, challenging your brain by learning a new skill such as coding, play an instrument, or becoming fluent in a new language. That's all part of self growth, becoming better than what you are. I mean, I'm going to tell y'all one of the words that I think about quite often, and I experienced it firsthand, is complacency. We become complacent. We become so in such a routine, and we is me. We're not trying to get any better. We're not trying to grow. And y'all, I'm not here trying to tell everybody tomorrow go out there and try out for the Olympics or nothing. I'm just telling you, this is a process. Tell you all right over there?
no, no, I'm here. The doggone cat want to run up under the damn wheel while I'm
Oh, you
trying to
got some
back
cats
up.
over there? Yeah, that's
She
right. Y'all got
gonna
some cats too, huh?
No, ain't no y'all. Just Timmy and my child. They got daggone cats, and she gonna end up dead like her damn mama, running up under the damn car, and she gonna get ran over. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just cussing, but the damn cat is getting on my damn nerves. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh Lord. Hey man, you never know what's I tell y'all, this is more than a YouTube channel. This is an experience. I heard all them horns. I'm making sure to tell you, all right, she about to take the damn cat out, man. And then I had the nerve to say it ain't my cat. I don't care. But y'all, and
It ain't my cat.
I knew it was gonna be some comedy in here tonight, man. Y'all make sure you tap in the second and third Monday of every month, unless something's going on in my life or Tanya has something going on in her life, her and Timmy. We're live 7:35 Central, 8:35 Eastern. With live and direct, and man, you never know. It could be a cat under the car. I'm over here thinking Tanya blowing at the people driving, and she over here trying to hit the cat anyway.
The
Uh,
damn cat, I'm pulling in the garage. She wait till I get the whole car in except the front wheels, and she decides she wanna run up underneath the car to go outside the garage door.
Maybe you scared her.
Just a dumb, ain't scared that dumb cat.
Hey man, hey, we might have some cat lovers in here. choking me, man. All right. To you, so you about to go in, or you gonna sit in the car and you done, or because I ain't gonna be on here much longer.
No, I'm walking in the door and I'm about to get off anyway because, like I said, I'm just walking in the door and I just wanted to come up here just to see what was going on and talk about self growth and stuff like that. So
Well,
look,
hey,
I done told y'all my vulnerable answer, so it
hey,
is what it is.
good luck on that. And I remember you briefly told me about that offline, and it takes a lot, man, for people such as Tanya or myself to get on here, and I didn't know Tanya was coming up here. I didn't know what she was going to talk about when she came up here, and you're hearing regular people saying, "Hey, I'm not only facing challenges, I'm accepting challenges." And that's what it's about. Hey, just asking, say, love the conversation. Then she said, poor kitty. She got animals over there, man. Love the conversation, tell you. But hey, we're just everyday people, man. And a lot of times, one of the things I talked about too, tell you, I know you're about to get out of here, and I'm about to get out of here, is I let the persona or the image precede the person. And I'm talking about with Rod. This is what I did. I went from being Rod to PBT and lost all sight of where Rod was. I had an APB out on Rod. I didn't know where he was. He was missing. And once I realized, hey, man, when you get broken down and you don't feel like sitting behind that camera, you don't feel like turning no computer on, ain't no PBT. You just regular old Rod. And that's one of the things I talked about, Tanya. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Well,
anyway, y'all, I'm gonna let Tanya get out of here, and I'm probably gonna set my closing remarks. I'm about to go in the next 3 minutes.
well, y'all have a good night. I'ma go.
You ain't gotta go. You want to stay there?
No, I'm about to go.
Oh, okay. Hey, don't hurt that. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing to that thing under the car.
No, no, I'm in the house now. I'm
Okay.
good.
Tell Timmy I said what's up. Tell your daughter say hi.
I will.
All right.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right. Hey, what's going on? We got Grant's faithful GLP one journey. Man, that sounds like a pretty good name. I gotta check that out. I like that. Seems like I've seen that name. You know the Nichols journey? Not because y'all both got a journey in your name. Y'all, why is the computer all on top of my head? Man, I'm all sorry I scared y'all like that. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe I got close. All right. Well, y'all, self-growth, man, it's kind of tricky. It's somewhat can be easy and it can somewhat be difficult. It's really how you tackle the situation. See, I knew it. I thought I had. So I got a pretty good memory. I got a pretty good memory. I knew I had seen that. Okay, you know the Nichols. Okay, cool, cool. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. But self control, man. I mean, self growth, not self control. Self control is part of self growth. It could be tricky, and it could be scary. When we get used to something and we get comfortable with something, I hate change. I'm not a fan of change. But when you see that a lack of change can almost be detrimental and you're forced to make a change, that fear factor has to go out the window. So, what I want to leave everyone with tonight, you may not have any self growing that you need to do right now. You may be just fine. You may be good to go, and that's fine. And if you are in that position, maybe you can help someone else because there's someone out there that with this self growth, remember I've said about 10 times during this live stream, self growth doesn't mean you have to do it by yourself. And they may be looking for someone to just help them along and not know how to ask. I have a commitment to myself. I don't care about the cliches of reach one, teach one, and each one, beach one, and all that stuff. I don't care about that. What I do care about is as many people as I can educate, motivate, and elevate And it doesn't have to be any money involved. Speaking of which, let me say this right now for anybody that's here and anybody watching the replay. When you subscribe to the channel, there's not a cost. This is not Ebony or Jet magazine back in the day. It's a subscription, but you don't have to pay anything. It's free 99. Each of my channels, I'm giving free information, whether it's motivational boulders, which this will be under the motivational boulders podcast that I have on Points Blank Experience, as well as the YouTube video version, whether I'm on Investing with Rod, trying to show anyone that will listen how to take a small amount of money and invest for your financial future, or whether I'm teaching people how to get out, or educating people how to get out of their state, their county, their city, and see something other than the norm. All of that stuff is free on my investment channel alone. Not just me. I've had guests such as Mommy Trader, Lisa J. Stocks, Clarence Patrick, giving out thousands of dollars that can be charged at a seminar for free. I went on Just Asking for a Friend's channel, and her and One Crafty Sister and talk about how to be self-reliant. Free education. There's 2 places you can learn right now, ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't cost $1. The only thing you may have to have is Wi-Fi connection or some type of mobile device. If you got that, you're good to go. And that's Google University and YouTube State College. No tuition, no student loans. You ain't got to pay nobody back, and you don't need no kind of forgiveness for your debt. You just have to have an open mind and be willing to grow. We need to take can't out of our vocabulary. A lot of people say, Rod, you cocky. No, I'm not cocky, I'm confident. There's nothing I can't learn. And that was instilled in me when I was a little country boy. One of the first things I was told when I got to California, yeah, you just an old country buck. And I said, yeah, okay. And remember I said I was going to get a little better than them? And I didn't have to go back and tell them. I made one statement. I said, the most dangerous thing you will ever find is a country boy that can survive in the city. And that was my goal. That was my purpose at the time. And in the words of Antoine Fisher, I'm still standing, I'm still strong. With that being said, y'all, hope y'all have a great evening. Let me see if we got any closing remarks here. Hey, okay, we got that. I know the Knuckles. Hey there, you always have room to grow. Yes, with support is the best way. Great live. Thank you so much, man. Y'all do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Give the video a thumbs up. Hit that like button. I know if you're on a mobile device, you got to hit X and do all this other stuff. I always used to say ring the doorbell when you come to my crib, and you are in my house right now. So please, if you forgot to ring the doorbell on the way in, because you saw the topic, you saw the thumbnail, you couldn't wait to get in here, ring it on the way out. We ain't going to charge you nothing again, man. Free knowledge. I will be coming at y'all soon, dropping more heat, dropping more fire, dropping more knowledge, whether I'm showing people how to travel for little or no money out of your pocket on Points Blank Travel, which is still the flagship channel, whether I'm showing people how to invest with little or no money out of their pockets on Investing with Rod, or whether we're on this channel and we're doing a little motivational or educational or just having fun. I will be coming at y'all soon. I'm going to show you here. That way, when you see them on YouTube, those are the channels. The passcode to success, ladies and gentlemen, for the entire Points Blank network is 247365. Meaning we stay grinding 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The new slogan for the entire network, not for the individual channels, we play to win. I don't play to lose. With that being said, man, I hope y'all have a blessed and prosperous day. As always, shoot for the moon. If you don't make it, you'll be amongst the stars. Let me check out these last couple comments. Good night, everyone. Hey, no apologies here. Grants, no apologies, no such thing as being late. Looking forward to the next one. Hey, you can always check out the replay. Skip through what you don't need and apply what you may need. And if you don't need any of it, tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. Matter of fact, hey, I used to tell people, Tell your cousin, tell your cousins, cousin. Matter of fact, tell somebody you don't like. Because if they busy watching me, they ain't got time to be messing with you. With that being said, we're gonna raise up out of here. Y'all have a good one. And I will be coming at you soon, man. Much love, y'all. Let me find what I'm looking for to get up out of here. And as always, I holla. Peace.